Okay then, so first map for them is going to be Tropical Mirage, yes, then Tundra, then Gold Rush. It's a best of 3. I also need to be right now putting up some scoreboard. No, and for the rules, just some kind of basic probably for the veto. So 1 veto per match. And under 60s, okay, in 1 minute. Okay, so, yep. So this is gonna be right now how it is. So nonetheless, therefore, welcome to the first probably stream, it looks like, of the Champions League 3 hosted by Boit and the community. It's gonna be the qualification round 1 between SuperAfim and AntiRaider, and it's gonna be a best of 3. So you're gonna be therefore starting on Tropical Mirage, as the maps are preset for the players, so they have something to prepare for every single time. You can say now Isis versus Poseidon. God choices are free, they can do what they want with those, and just like the one interesting part is that they can be going for a veto in 1 minute, 1 per match. Not like you should be needing too many of those, considering that, well, the maps do spawn fairly regularly and pretty decently and well. Okay, so as you can see, AntiRaider's position is gonna be fairly nice with his Posse to begin with. It's gonna be fairly decent map for him, quite a bit kind of like openish, let's say. Let's not say completely open, because the oases in the middle are slightly closed up. Depends on the spawn a bit, but they usually are a bit closed off. Nice Giraffinos. And on the other side, that's gonna be SuperAfim, who's gonna be there for playing with Isis. And it's really cool to be seeing this player, as he has been, especially like a vanilla expert, but he has also played. I have some videos on my YouTube of him actually from some tournaments from AOL Destroyer in the past years, and he has kind of contested with Shadowfax quite a lot. And he has also played, of course, decently in Age of Mythology Titans. So looking forward to him, how he's gonna be able to get far into the tournament. Expecting he should be making it through the qualification, to be honest. So we'll see what's gonna be right now. The today's beginning. He is about like 1950. That's a fairly good gold mine, by the way, for the Isis. 1950 rating on the 1v1 ladder on Voobly. And AntiRaider, if I have seen it correctly, was about 1600. So we should be having somewhat of a favorite, but it is the first round of the qualification. So hopefully AntiRaider is going to be having some interesting experience of the match with such an expert player. And will be maybe learning something new of that as well. You can see right now what I was talking about on Tropical Mirage. We are going to be having, of course, somewhat of a closed little oasis around the TC. So it's usually not too incredibly hard to block it off and continue gathering. Of course, getting yourself the second TC as well is something that can be working pretty decently in general. That's a very good hunt here on the left side, but not entirely expecting that it's going to be allowed for the Egyptian too much. Good zebras. Of course, I done some gazelles as well. Should be fairly okay, I guess, for AntiRaider to be going around. He should be probably aiming for second TC. And on the other side for SuperAfim, I'm kind of curious if it's gonna be 2 TC fast to heroic in, or if it's gonna be like 1 TC fast to heroic and standard push. I guess he could be probably going for the safer option, which is gonna be 2 town centers in general. It's probably gonna be making a bit more sense, I expect. Expecting that it's gonna be the case. No, but as you're gonna be looking around, so far I haven't found any relics, which is a bit weird. There should be, of course, the standard 2, if I'm not mistaken, on this map as well. We have already seen this multiple times, even... talking about those. Alright. Now that's a good bonus for the Poseidon. Very good indeed. So looking forward to that. That's gonna be a pretty nice little assistance for Mr. AntiRaider, who's gonna be also trying to work on walling his map off. But yeah, as I kind of started mentioning, I'm thinking that AntiRaider's opponent is gonna be going for the safe side, just to be feeling the player first. I mean, like, there are ratings, but you can like never know what's going to happen in the real world, especially if it's gonna be going and for tournament and it's a best of 3. So you better not be going in too cocky and somewhat like expecting that it's gonna be way too easy. That can definitely actually not work, because maybe sometimes people are gonna be preparing some cheese strategies you weren't expecting, and suddenly there's gonna be 1 game off. No, and then you are already getting worried that maybe you're just gonna be slipping somewhere for some reason. Your connection is not gonna be holding, or I don't know, and you're gonna be actually quite a bit screwed. But bust at 455, or sorry, 453, which is fairly decently quick actually, that's not too slow. How's the advance here for Hermes? 82, okay. Oh, it's like a half a minute difference. Shouldn't be entirely enough to disrupt the TC with empowerment for SuperAfim. Is he actually right now careful about... No, kind of yes. About micro on actually the empowerment. Because of course if you're gonna be timing them properly and knowing when the villages are gonna be coming back, then you need to be empowering only when they go home. You don't need to be empowering the other time, so you can theoretically do all kinds of micromanagement there, which is something that you do see lately. People actually do that a bit more. I definitely do notice kind of like the learning maybe of players to do a few more things in Age of Mythology than used to be done in the past, but it's still not as spread out and spread between the players as I'm thinking that we would be all liking that to be. No, okay, so what do we have currently? Unfortunately right now Kentaro is gonna be dead though. With 20 HP it's gonna be like one hit by, probably not by Priest, but for now definitely. Theseus could be pulling him down. Yeah, he needs to be really fighting this. Smart decision. Realizing right now there could be a bit of an issue. Okay, Sphinx coming back. She's probably gonna die. Maybe she could be like a bit of a bait, so that the Theseus is gonna be also killed after. But nonetheless, didn't entirely happen. Pharaoh is gonna be fine. Right now, he should be right now healing him. I think actually that the Pharaoh could be maybe a bit more important to heal. But he wants to be going back out into the world with Kentaro being already gone though. Doesn't seem like that there's gonna be anything too surprising. Just maybe the fact is that AntiRaider is not going for the front EC, though against an ECC it's always tricky, so I probably shouldn't be surprised too much. Because again, the Ancestors Eclipse push is usually quite a bit sucky. And that's why you want to be taking a bit more of a safer position against the Egyptiano this way, as a Greek. It's a good food. Won't be entirely too problematic, I guess, but he should be, I think, camping here on somewhere close by, because the healed Sphinx is gonna be quite a bit of a pain. If she discovers, for example, this spot, it's gonna be unfortunately slowing down Red quite a bit. And in the end, you can see Blue did manage to find a way and time to go for the massive hunt on the left. It's gonna be really helpful having such a quick food source for himself. So quite a bit happy for him. Just a bit of a difference and problem maybe could be that of course the gold mines are spawned in a way that they are outside of the oases, obviously. So you kinda want to be getting into heroic, dropping the Migdol, and then you're gonna be Gucci with your Ege. But still, this gold mine is really good. Close to home base, beyond kinda the second TC, so you theoretically place a wall here. And suddenly this is actually gonna be quite turbo safe. But this one is also pretty cool, all things considered. If you're gonna be dropping a Migdol about here, you both protect the TC theoretically, and gold mine is gonna be safe, same as the back one too. So there are some good options for him. So it's gonna be wanting to actually go for the LE, which is making sense. At this point he should be just gonna really fighting the Theseus. Or kind of like really fighting the Theseus, that's a question. He wants to be actually forcing him away. Because if there would be some kind of real fight with where the Theseus would be helpful, and AntiRaider wouldn't be deleting him, then he would be of course just like instantly disadvantaged, or the disadvantage, sorry. So that's also something that you need to be kind of managing the hit points of your heroes as a Greek. And if you do have somebody who is low hit point, and you are expecting that soon you might be called upon into some fight, you might just also want to delete him earlier than waiting for him to die in battle, because the battle is gonna be suddenly turning pretty stupid if you lose the hero. So, don't be afraid to kill them. They're gonna get reborn anyway. So, not like you're gonna be a murderer or anything along those lines. Definitely not. But, well, we still haven't discovered, by the way, the second relic even, as you do have really good walls. That's gonna be keeping the whole left part of the map safe. Just maybe a bit of a disappointment for SuperAfim that we don't have any gold here. At least it looks that way so far. It's gonna be also soon finished. Not bad. Yeah, it was a classic short side mining camp, unfortunately, instead of the long side here. Oh well, it probably cannot be fit in here, I'm guessing, because of the palm. But to the right, he should have been quite a bit fine. So we can, I guess, check out some economical upgrades, which are gonna be empty for AntiRaider. Whereas on the left side for SuperAfim, we are gonna be having, no, kind of like a bit of a lower amount of them as well, with the heroic age at 10 minutes, not like the fastest. That certainly can be advanced a bit quicker, but he didn't cast right now and didn't play the standard with his prosperity yet. You can see it's gonna be good empowerment. No, good empowerment, not really. He's gonna be actually mining it out before he is gonna be fully out or fully ready. No, that's a better actually mining camp. Could have been placing it a bit closer, like I don't know, half a centimeter possibly. But yeah, gold is gonna be there for out zone. No, and he's gonna be missing about like, I don't know, 10-15 seconds of the prosperity, which is not like terrible. All he needs right now is having tons for potential extra TC, much more importantly Migdol and the first armies. So he's literally just missing, I don't know, 100 gold, 150 maybe. Because in general, from the food in rain, you get in usually about like 800, if I'm not mistaken. Prosperity, I think it is somewhat similar. Right now, not having it in my mind too much because you just don't see the ISIS too much played lately. So I don't have the resources in my mind, but it's somewhat similar. So if you're gonna be discounting some, what is it, fourth maybe of that. So maybe, yeah, the 150 probably gold seems to be right. That he probably missed from that. One village is just able... No, not anymore, because the medium is gonna be messing that up. It was well actually kind of gauged by SuperAfim, but he wasn't expecting the upgrades to come. This could kind of suck here, actually. If he's gonna be checking to the left. Will he? Will he? Nah, he won't. Okay, so it seems like it. Unfortunately, he's gonna be lucky, which is a bit of a shame. He maybe just kinda didn't realize where the villager came from, which in the end isn't probably too surprising if he's not clairvoyant. Which, yeah, well, you usually aren't if you are a human in person. But nonetheless, maybe he's gonna be right now actually forced into that position. But with all, especially the Scorpion man, it shouldn't be all that much of a good trade-in anymore at this point, even if he actually scouts all the info. So, and he of course didn't even go far away enough. He's just gonna be seeing the first one that's gonna be seeming depleted, so no problem whatsoever. No, we're gonna be also with AntiRaider spread out all across the map as well for all the Han. You can see he's trying to get into Heroic Age. Basically the difference between the villages is the advance into Heroic for villages. Viri being in 14 seconds, advance is 60 seconds. Easy math. Something that is actually way more relevant in Age of Empires 2, frankly. In Age of Mythology, it's gonna be one of the first times I'm probably even counting that and thinking about it in general. But well, what else do we actually have here? That is gonna be all the way to the bottom. Actually, the town center having a few idols next to it, unfortunately. At least the hand axe and pickaxe are gonna be in game. Whereas for the laborers, Hadze Wepovet with bowsaw, that is a working combo. The first level obviously doesn't work together. Or rather, just basically like one of them is gonna be actually improving your percentage. But looking at the pop limit, 121, you can see it now that SuperAfim is getting into quite a bit of a strong position here. And I do wonder if maybe AntiRaider is gonna be at least having a chance to block his Ansis. But so far he doesn't need to use them. Okay, we got about like 5. I mean, like they were unfortunately quite a bit high health. So that's why I'm not gonna be getting too many. It's usually kinda better just to be trying to have some lower amount of hit points on more of them, so that you're gonna be having bigger impact as far as the numbers, but yeah, well, nonetheless, at least some kind of little help with even Artemis attempted actually quickly for AntiRaider. What is he trying to play for though? Because I mean, like, Earthquake, not cool, but his Isis not there. Needs another monument here though. But still, even Earthquake on this TC doesn't solve anything really for AntiRaider. So I'm just gonna try to think what's gonna be the idea in here. What is he necessarily trying to do? And what he can be using there. He can be having Hetairoy, but yeah, well, that doesn't help against camels. And in general, he's not going for Hephaistos, which would have been nice. That would be making sense for the faster hit mythic at that point. Getting yourself Forge of Olympus. But this... I don't know, he's just gonna cast Earthquake and... can like Earthquake into GG probably. Because at this point SuperAfim is having the game quite well in hands. Theoretically kinda like the play for AntiRaider against like the Isis should be like the stronger second age economy. get in some kind of pop limit army into the cavalry, trying to kind of like somewhat control the map, then finding yourself into in maybe position of the 30C and the heroic age, but rushing into the mythic. I mean, like, in the end, I'm not entirely too concerned about the jump from, like, the quick from heroic to mythic, but rather there is actually that quick at 40 minutes being the mythical age. That's a bit concerning. Usually gonna be advancing into heroic age something like past 15 minutes, probably in this matchup. Somewhat a bit later, and therefore, we'll see what's gonna happen. But unless Earthquake is gonna be up, it's gonna be meaning that Hands of the Pharaoh are gonna have to be researched a bit elsewhere. As well, 1 TC gone, but really, no problem. You can see plenty of Ligeros still around. Just gonna maybe hoping that a few raiders could be around, but unfortunately they have all their hands, well, busy with the SuperAfim's army. You can see it's gonna be right now no further upgrades, just the heavy charioteers, medium hippies without any kind of spirited charge, for example. No, and Osiris is gonna be coming up for SuperAfim, both Soquery, sure, why not? I'll be kinda liking a bit of an old school fancy Isis with Thoth and elephants and all kinds of nonsenses in there. And of course even the meteors, because it's really the coolest god power in the game. It certainly is. Bit of a shame that it's not like the best in the game as well. But I guess you can't be having both of them at once. Had to be probably a bit too OP at that point. But well, whatever the case, you can say about now the... I mean, like, Prodroma are making sense if you're gonna be having still some camels around you. Obviously they are excellent against those guys, but yeah, well, with the blockage of the god powers here, which at this point is not gonna be needed anymore, literally just ceasefire, which could be a bit obnoxious, because you will be probably having a bit harder time maybe casting the ceasefire in between Unseas and Eclipse, if you will be trying to do so, because if you will be in this territory, you wouldn't be able to cast it there, so it might be actually unnecessarily stopping you, but you should be realizing that if you're gonna be having it clicked in. So shouldn't be a problem, as fortunately Chimera came back to check out on the TC, but it's gonna be already gone as well, and we can check out on the economy, which is actually fairly decently upgraded for AntiRaider. He's still hunting, so that's why he's not gonna be having all the farm upgrades just yet. And you can say it now also fairly powerful upgrade line for SuperAfim with even trade starting. I kinda like how he's not really underestimating anything here. That's a good approach. You never should be doing that, frankly. Some people do it, but you shouldn't be. Because then you're gonna be getting into bad habits, and you're gonna be doing it once in a match that's gonna be mattering, and you're not gonna be actually able to get away with it. So it's something to be very careful about. But nonetheless, that's gonna be there for the first game of the Tournament of Champions League 3, hosted by Boit and the community done. And let's give that for SuperAfim, the 1-0 lead against AntiRaider. And let's see if on the second map, which is gonna be also preset, and will be there for Tundra, if that's gonna be maybe more fitting AntiRaiders' ideas and goals. Okay, so let's have a look into post-game. In the meantime, it was a fairly nice play by SuperAfim. Maybe the only part that I'm a bit curious about is if he couldn't be advancing faster into the heroic age. He wasn't having that much of a high activity as far as the army there. I mean, like, none. So 10-minute advance is a bit slow. So I'm thinking that's something that might not be entirely paying off against a top level player, possibly. Because again, if they're gonna be ready with the army earlier, then basically every like half a minute or a minute later you advance into heroic age, you are basically gonna be playing naked for that whole time, and more chance for the player to raid you. You can see some 5, but like 2,000 resources more, or 3 rather, for SuperAfim, which is nice. Good echo, and quite nice numbers, 30, 50, 60. But yep, nice Scorpion Man, also quite a great unit, one of the best myth units in the game. Always reminds me of the Reddit post some years back when somebody was telling them and saying rather that it's the worst unit. Way to show that you don't entirely understand the game too much, but GG.